welcome back to Well Played, presented by The Scam. I'm Caroline Hendershot.
And I'm Blake Morgan, and guess where we're going?
We're going to Tampa! Oh, I said Florida. Shoot, sorry. We're going to Tampa!
We are.
Yeah, we're going to Tampa. Literally from here, we're going to the airport for Dick's Sporting Goods. And we are, we're going on a little trippy trip, and we will recap it when we get back.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in to next week's episode. It's
I
going to
just
be
didn't want
incredible.
you guys to be shocked because I know all of you are following us on Instagram. So when you see it on our Instagram stories, I don't want you to be surprised.
Right.
When you see us basking in the sun, talking to some cool people.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll save the full recap for next week. But just so you know.
There's some very great content. Very great. There's some great content on the horizon.
Sense. Okay.
I don't know. It didn't sound right. Have you heard that the entire internet is talking about if 100 men could take down one silverback gorilla? I'm not kidding.
No.
I don't know who started it. Sean is looking at me like I have 17 heads. I wrote it down so that I could bring it up because I don't understand men.
Personally, I've never seen a silverback gorilla before, so I can't answer the question, but I also understand
I don't know if
confusion.
I've seen a silverback gorilla, but I've seen a gorilla, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What are we... This is giving, you know what it's giving? It's giving the same energy as when you asked a man if you thought he could land a plane in an emergency, and everyone says yes. Sean, do you think you could do it? Oh, okay, he said
Sean
no.
is a realist.
Yeah, smart boy. But like everyone says yes. So anyways, I don't know.
Ask the men in your life.
The confidence that people are getting is incredible. 100 men.
You
No, you're so dumb.
No.
I love you, but no. Like
Sean thinks that men
one
could do it.
silver, like I'm pretty sure. Like I was watching a video on Instagram of this guy explaining like how strong silverback gorillas are, and he was like,
"You're sucked in."
I'm so sucked in. He was like, like their grip strength is like 1,400 pounds or some shit. I'm like, guys, be fucking for real.
Oh my
Sean.
God. 100 women?
No, just 100 men even.
Okay, what about 100 women? Can they do it?
Oh, 100
obviously.
women could probably do it.
Yeah, we are able
But
to.
it would be like outsmarting. It wouldn't be like physical dominance. It would just be like you
I think we would like connect
them.
with the gorilla on an emotional level.
Okay.
And that's how we would get it.
And they would be on our side.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, you know what? I admit.
Yeah.
I'm not cut out
True.
for
It's
this.
white flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Really quick before we get into our topics today, I wanted to give an update because if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen, I think a week or so ago, I posted that somebody slid into my DMs anonymously. I felt like the Deux Moi of sports really quickly
You really are. You're the lore keeper.
Yes. Yes, this is like we're soft launching a segment called Lore Keeper, where if you have secrets about the sports industry, you are more than welcome to submit them to Caroline or I.
Breadcrumbing in our DMs, you know?
Yeah. And I can't say that I have validated or fact-checked these claims. I'm saying that from the top. So you can maybe do research on your own after what I tell you. So they slid into my DMs and they said, I worked at Augusta. This is all context here. This is about our episode where we talked about how Fred Ridley, the head bitch in charge of the Masters, said that it would be too difficult to put on a women's Masters.
And again, they do like a women's amateur, but it's like a women's professional golf tournament at Augusta.
And this listener, or not even listener, they saw our social clip that went a little viral about it. And they wrote me and said, I worked at Augusta National doing strategy through a consulting company, and we spoke about a women's Masters. I'll give you some tea as long as you keep it anonymous. Fred Ridley's response is not the reason they don't add a women's Masters.
Dun, dun, dun.
I share this on Instagram. People are like, we need the tea. So they actually wrote me back, and they seem very concerned that they might be sued. So they were like, I'm going to keep it as vague as possible.
Love.
They basically said that they worked there around 4 years ago. There were conversations about starting women's Masters before they got there. And this person's job was to help the Masters get more viewership because their viewers were literally dying off. Like, who's watching golf? 80-year-old men, right?
Yep. Except for also Caroline. Classic.
And so they said that they brought up many times adding a women's Masters would help bring women into the audience, especially during COVID, because I think that's when this person worked for them, you know.
Yeah.
Many women started playing golf during COVID. It had nothing to do.
Me included.
Yep. So when they really pushed on it, they said they will never do a ladies' Masters. Furthermore, they put ladies' golf in the development category. Have you heard this?
Nope.
Okay. So The development category is where they consider their golf investments for things like First Tee, which is to make programs for kids to make golf cheaper. And they skirted around this, saying this directly, but this person's impression was they do not view ladies' golf as the same as men's golf.
Just fucking tell me that you don't view women as equal as men.
Literally.
Like, okay.
They essentially were like, ladies' golf is as legit as kids' golf.
I'm sorry.
And not as legit as men's golf.
Hey, have you, I don't know, heard of Nelly Corda? Because she could whoop your ass on the golf course, I'm pretty sure.
She could take down a silverback gorilla.
You damn right she could. Solo.
So that is what this person said. And they basically underlined, nothing's too difficult for Augusta. They've got money coming out of their ears.
Of course they do.
You know? So
the
they can do
membership
whatever they
fees,
want.
I feel like, at Augusta are just like through the roof. So it's not a money thing. It's just a straight up
sexism.
We don't want to. We should clip that and use that like all the time. I loved that.
Yes. Okay. So soft launches, Lore Keeper. We have a lot of topics to get into today, and we have a guest today.
Yes.
We are going to be joined by comedian Phoebe Robinson. Sounds kind of random, but you will see why it's not random in just a bit.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're not watching on YouTube, go check out our full-length episode on YouTube. If you're more of an audio galler guy, make sure you're subscribed and listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Oui, baguette.
And leave us a comment and drop into our DMs. And we love you, mean it. Bye. Blake, where can they follow you?
BL888-4KZ.
At CG Hendy.
Let's
love you,
go.
mean it. Bye.
We begin today's Playing the Field with a story that Caroline was really just up in arms about this weekend. And I understand. So last week we talked about the draft, the NFL draft, and Shador Sanders, who we defined as a bit of a nepo-baby.
Yes.
I defined.
Yes.
I shouldn't say Caroline said that. So Shador Sanders went into free fall as round after round, team after team, they just continued picking people that weren't him to join their NFL team.
I know.
What happened, though, that made you so upset?
It's okay. So, like, this was a lot of people equated this to kind of like when Aaron Rodgers was getting drafted and he dropped in the boards and didn't get drafted for a very long time.
I saw Tom Brady, too. Is that true?
Well, Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady. You know, like, people didn't think of him as like who he is now. He was like a good Michigan quarterback, but like nothing insane. And he was like very, very far down in the draft. But anyways, so Shador does not get drafted for a while. And at one point, when the Saints were on the clock, which it means like they're going to be calling their draft pick, letting them know that they're deciding and they're turning their name in for to get drafted by the Saints. At one point, when the Saints were on the clock, Shador received a phone call. And I'm pretty sure like his either like the production company that was filming like his entire weekend, or maybe it was someone was like live on Twitch, recorded him getting this phone call. And he's getting this phone call, whatever, and then you realize that it's a prank call. And for those
draft night.
I know. For those who don't know, that like NFL sends you a phone for, I don't know if they send all draft prospects a phone or if they send like just like the top ones a phone, but I'm pretty sure almost every draft prospect gets a phone with a number that only the coaches of all 32 NFL teams have, like via an email chain or whatever, so that this does not happen, you know? And so people are probably wondering, how did you get said number for a prank call?
Because it's so top secret.
Turns out that it was 21-year-old son of Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbricht's son.
No!
Yeah, and here's the problem. I know Jeff Ulbricht because he worked for the Jets last year. He was their defensive coordinator and then was the interim head coach. He is the nicest man alive, like salt of the earth.
God.
I'm obsessed with him. He's so sweet. He would always ask me how I was doing. He was just like so kind, so loved him. I mean, he was also like very like kind of intimidating because he was just like a no nonsense kind of football coach, which I love. But his son's not the one doing the prank call, because this video then comes out of these boys who look like they're in a frat.
They're
like,
so dumb.
room.
Why would you literally publish this video?
You guys are stupid. So many thoughts. So someone's clearly taking a video. Then there's another kid sitting on the couch who's like doing the call, the prank call. And then Jax Ulbricht, the son of Jeff Ulbricht, is sitting next to him and then like gets up at some point when the call starts happening. But obviously they got the number from Jax because he was the connection to the NFL coach who had the number. Okay. This makes me terrified to have children because people are so dumb. Kids are just so dumb.
And like you said, the coach is like so nice and sweet, but sometimes it's like the nicest, sweetest parents who have the shitheadiest kids. You know what I mean?
Just like some kids can like make a mistake and think like, oh, this is going to be so funny. Like we're going to go viral in a good way. And it's like they don't think of the possible repercussions, because I genuinely think that kids these days did not get raised in the same way we were raised, where it was like, if a video gets out there of you, it can ruin your life.
Oh my God, they're like digital footprint? Come on.
Literally, people were always like, if you post it online, it's there forever. Yep. And like that scarred me. And now we have like TikTok where everyone posts everything. So these kids were probably like not thinking of like, oh, this could fuck me over, you know?
Which is so great.
Which is just
the
crazy.
The frontal lobes are not developed, but also the 21-year-old. When this story came out, I thought maybe it was like a 12-year-old kid. Because I did a couple prank calls in my day.
Yeah, I mean,
I star 67 that shit.
Yeah, star 69.
No, 67.
Oh, clearly shows
maybe
how many
in Jersey
I did.
It's star 67.
No, I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So it was just, it was tough watch. I literally could not watch the full prank call either way, either video. I like was so cringe, and it was just like, ugh. So Jax Ulbrich released a statement, the Falcons released a statement, and they said that they weren't going to like punish Jeff Ulbrich in any way.
I mean, it's not
obviously
his fault.
It's not his fault. Yeah. But yeah, it's tough.
God.
And Tyler Warren, the Penn State tight end, also allegedly got a phone call when the Jets were on the clock at number 7, because he was one of the names that was floating around as who the Jets would pick. So again, there's just like, obviously it's probably him as well. Maybe one could assume, but it's just like, woof.
Get a life. Get a hobby.
It's tough.
Okay, but back to the draft itself. How shocking was it for like NFL diehard fans to watch Sanders just continuously not get picked?
I just think it was so shocking, like how far he fell, because he fell to the 5th round, and I think people were like, oh, okay, maybe he didn't get picked on day 1, but he'll definitely get picked day 2.
Oh, baby.
And then it was like rounds 2, rounds 3, rounds 4, all pass. And it's like, okay, what's happening
What do you think had
here?
to do with it? Because remember last week we were talking about how he didn't participate in the combine. He like didn't want to do interviews.
Yeah. He did like some interviews, but not all.
Yeah.
And he was being like particular in the way that he did it. And I get it. That's your right. But he also like, he didn't have an agent. Like Dion, his dad was his agent. And like, not for nothing, but this is where you need an agent.
Right.
Like, and I understand you can gravitate towards your parents, because obviously when you're young, you are like, you know everything. And Dion's been through it. So like, I get it. But I think that's the scenario where it's like, this would have helped to have someone who was like just a little bit more vetted and familiar with these situations and how they unfold and all of that. And, but yeah, I don't think any coach has come out and said it. There's been a lot of like rumors, but apparently in some of the interviews that he had with teams, there was a little factor of arrogance per se. And I know I was reading something about his interview with the Giants where they gave him some of the playbook to learn ahead of time, and he came in and was like vastly underprepared and was called out on it, and like did not appreciate getting called out on. So there was like there's a lot of rumors in the rumor mill,
right?
Because no one's confirmed that, like with their name attached to it. But yeah,
I guess just like all this to say is like sometimes you just can't nepo-baby your way to the sun.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't nepo-baby enough. We're just tough. All right, moving on to more playing field with a little bit more out of the NFL draft. So Sanders' teammate Travis Hunter went number 2 overall after the Jacksonville Jaguars traded up to take him. And one person on hand to congratulate Hunter was none other than his fiancée, Liana Linnea, who previously caught flack for her body language at the Heisman Trophy ceremony this past season, which we talked about.
We did talk about that. And then after the draft, podcast host Kelly Stafford, the wife of Rams QB Matt Stafford, went on record saying she didn't think it was worth having any girlfriends on camera during the draft.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So her reasoning was interesting, because she said that she wasn't invited to Matt Stafford's draft when she was dating him, and now as a mother, she didn't understand it at the time, but now as a mother, she kind of understands it a little bit more. She's like, it's like having a significant other of your brother or sister in your bridal party, and then they break up, and and then they're in the photos
Listen,
forever.
I have many family photos with my ex-boyfriend, and I'm going to have some explaining to do.
Magic of Photoshop. Like, we are in the 21st century, baby. Photoshop has upgraded. Like, we're good there. We can figure that out. I understand the sentiment. However, it is giving prenup to me.
Oh.
Like, it is giving, hey, just in case we break up, don't come to the draft and don't be in any of my draft photos. Just in case we break up.
So you think girlfriend should be allowed?
Well, I'm just like, okay, here's the problem. I think girlfriends should protect their own peace.
Yes.
Because this is what happens. The frickin' classic double standard of men versus women. Any girlfriend who goes to the draft is picked apart, like limb by limb, detail by detail, because God forbid they do anything. They make a face. Mm-hmm. They're too emotional. They take a phone and then it gets memed for years. Like, they get memed like it's nobody's business. And CeeDee Lamb's ex-girlfriend came out, and there's this classic draft day clip that goes around literally every draft day of CeeDee Lamb. He has two phones. His girlfriend takes one phone, and then he he doesn't snatch it, but he like aggressively takes it back. And people literally took that and ran with it forever. They still bring it up to this day, and it's been years. And she posted this past draft and was like, hey, if you're on my page because of that clip,
right,
like, I just want you to know that that clip like really messed with me. It made me super depressed. It made me super anxious. Like, she thought about taking her own life because of it. Like, it was bad.
Holy shit.
And this is so classic, a tale as old as time, as I like to say, that women get picked apart. And then you see Jalen Suggs supporting Haley Van Lith at the WNBA draft, and all he's doing is standing up and clapping, and everyone was ready to kiss the ground that he walks on. Here's the thing. I, too, am a victim of loving a supportive man. But also, like, can we just not scrutinize and pick apart the woman who's just trying to support her boyfriend, fiance, whatever, husband in, like, the biggest moment of his life? Like,
it's so true. And, you know, I feel like Kelly Stafford or anybody who's anti-girlfriend at the draft, like, they would never be like, Jalen Suggs shouldn't come to the draft.
Totally.
They wouldn't say that about the man.
100%.
Also, we should say that people are we're talking about Haley Van Lith, Jalen Suggs, just like the influx we will probably see of husbands, HABs, as we like to call them, husbands and boyfriends of women athletes, basically.
Yes,
or any athletes, really. But
yes. And it's just like, here's the thing. Scott knows this about me, because anytime, and it's usually an athlete just because, like, that's what my news my news feed is just filled with. When a male athlete is, like, talking about how much he adores his wife and how supportive she is and how he wouldn't have made it there, and, you know, he gets a little teary, boom, they go on my Mount Rushmore of men, because I'm obsessed with that. Like, that is my Super Bowl. And especially when you get a little teary, oh my God. Like, the NFL draft is my Super Bowl because men cry so much. And I'm obsessed with criers as a fellow crier myself. But, like, it's just like, okay, that's great. Let's also do that for the supportive woman. Mm-hmm. And let's just, like, also praise her for everything that she sacrifices, because no one likes to talk about that.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's, like, a gender difference, and, like, women are holding it down in the homes more often than not. They're organizing the schedules. They're taking on the mental load. Let's pour one out for them.
It's literally like, it's almost as if this is hitting close to home, Blake, because women are consistently treated different than men. And it's almost like they're called crazy or they're called bitches if they literally have a standard or anything. And God freaking forbid. So.
I know. I also just, like, as we see more HABs enter the sportosphere, as I should say, we should not be giving out cookies for the bare minimum. Like you said, showing up to the draft, showing up to a game, a championship, that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Supporting your wife, we should not be giving out cookies. That's just how it should be.
Yeah, correct. Did you see Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, crashed his interview on CBS Mornings this week? When asked about how the couple met, Hudson chimed in off camera, mind you. We're not talking about this.
I did see that. It was literally insane.
The entire interview, start to finish.
I know. I didn't even know that she could be off screen like that and just kind of like literally commandeering this interview.
So like for those who have not watched Bill Belichick in his pressers when he was head coach of the Patriots, he is classic monotone short answers. He gives you nothing, no juice. He literally never smiles, nothing. This was very similar to that, except it was somehow even more cringy, even more awkward.
Really?
And I literally did not know that was possible. And so I think this is a little bit of the problem of Jordan Hudson kind of being his new like PR manager.
Yeah.
And publicist, because so the point where the interviewer is like, you know, everyone's obsessed with your relationship with Jordan Hudson. How did you two meet? And she's like, we're not talking about this. The whole story of how they met was like they met on a plane. They were seated next to each other.
It's been like reported so many times.
She was reading like a philosophy book. He signed the book or something. And that's the story that's been reported. It almost makes it seem like that's not the truth now, that she's saying we're not talking about it, because like, why not? It's just an innocent little plane story.
I know.
Totally fine.
The thing is, she probably thinks Billy Boy is going to go off the rails. Did you also notice, like, it felt as if he literally, like, somebody was holding a gun to him and was like, you better remember that goddamn media training we've been through
100%.
So many times. Because he, like you said, no juice.
I mean, he just doesn't.
Dry.
He doesn't like it. So I'm like, why did you do it?
Yeah.
Like, why did you
Well,
sign
also,
up
we
for
should
it?
say he was, he's, I guess, like, promoting his new book called The Art
okay.
of Winning.
That's why.
Lessons from My Life in Football.
There you go.
I'm going to need Jordan Hudson to come out with, like, a similar book of a similar title.
She's going to have the foreword.
Well, he credits her in, I think like his acknowledgments.
Yeah.
And he was like, Jordan, my creative muse.
Okay.
She's not really allowing you to be very creative, Bill.
Yeah. I also think that's part of like her being 24 is just like she doesn't understand that like if he just told that story, it would have been less of a whole thing. And now people are making it a thing, you know? Also, you had thoughts on his shirt.
Of course. I mean, okay, to paint a picture, y'all. I'm like so confused. Okay, so he was wearing a crew neck. Did it say Navy?
It said Navy.
Navy.
His dad coached it. The Naval Academy.
His dad coached the Naval Academy. It was a tattered, holes everywhere, faded navy blue crew neck.
I will say, I have a shirt that also says Navy on it, and it is tattered. And that's because it was my father's from when he was a plebe and freshman. And you get issued this like classic gray Navy shirt, and it's tattered. And I stole it from my dad. Sorry, Carl. And I would never wear that in public. It is my sleep shirt.
It is a sleep shirt. It's for private moments.
Yeah.
You don't wear that on CBS Morning Sunday News. What are you doing?
Go Navy, beat Army, but you gotta have a Navy hoodie in your closet that doesn't have a hole in it. Come on.
I was like, do you think he was trying to get swag points or something? Because, you know,
I don't know.
It really was reminding me of like when I would wear pants with holes in high school because that was the cool, trendy thing to do.
Like ripped jeans?
Of course.
I still wear them.
Yes, but listen, it was like a gaping hole.
Oh, okay.
And I understand why my father said what he said, but he was like, you look homeless.
Okay.
Like, we have money. You can buy clothes without holes in them.
Yeah, my dad would always ask me, do you want me to buy you new pants because you have a hole in them?
Literally,
I was like,
no original thoughts between these fathers.
Zero. So yeah, it's just blowing up. I'm like kind of intimidated by Jordan Hudson. She was.
Well, me too. And that's why I
intimidating.
do think she could literally publish a book that was like The Art of Winning, How I Finessed.
100%.
You know?
But now I need to know how they actually met because I don't believe the plain story anymore.
I know.
So like, give me the tea. Oh, anyone who has the lore on that one, slide
lore
into our
keepers.
DMs.
Come on. For our next topic, spoiler alert for those of you who were watching the next season of Welcome to Wrexham on Hulu. Your boys, they're kind of moving up in this world.
Moving on and moving
by
up.
The boys, I'm talking about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. I think that's how you say his last name. Their soccer club in Wales called Wrexham FC. So they got promoted to the second tier in English football. They've been trying. They were in the bottom of the barrel.
They started at the bottom.
They started at the bottom. Now they are here. And I think the past 3 seasons they have continuously promoted themselves to the next level because they just keep winning.
Because that's how English football works, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
There's like a pyramid. I don't remember how many levels, but they're trying to get to the Premier League, essentially.
The Premier League.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Someone's been playing too much FIFA.
Intrusive thought.
But his wife, Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively, had a really sweet reaction to the soccer club's win.
Yeah, she posted a series of pictures to her Instagram feed honoring the achievement, congratulating Reynolds and the club, and the caption included the quote, "History was made yesterday, not just with you, but because of you."
Aww. Ali Raisman was also randomly there.
Yeah.
It's like a little side quest.
I didn't know that they were close.
I didn't either.
I feel like they bought the team like 2 seconds ago. Like it feels like just yesterday that
Yeah,
they
it was
bought
like a couple
the team.
years ago.
But they've just had boom success like that.
I know, and good for them. I feel like it just proves you invest. You throw a little money at it.
Mm-hmm.
You make people feel important. You give them good facilities.
Mm-hmm.
You give the fans a reason to cheer.
Hundo P.
And then you look, success.
Yeah.
But also, wait, really quick, T. So Travis Kelce has apparently unfollowed Ryan Reynolds on Instagram.
I was seeing this story
kind
trending.
of people are speculating it's to distance himself from the drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni because his girlfriend, Taylor Swift, appeared to be referred to in Baldoni's lawsuit against Blake Lively.
She's gonna get called, like subpoenaed for the lawsuit. That's what everyone's saying, is that she's gonna get subpoenaed because there was like some sort of interaction that she was involved in where like Baldoni came over to Blake Lively's house. She was there.
Ooh.
And like Blake Lively allegedly made some like kind of threatening remarks in a sense or something.
No.
Yeah, not great vibes.
Remains to be seen.
And
I bet you Tree Payne made Travis unfollow them. Him.
Yeah, or
me.
you know what? Maybe Travis was just like, this is how I stand with my woman, and this is what I'm going to do.
I'm thinking it's Tree Payne behind the scenes.
Tree Payne is smarter.
She's not to be fucked with.
She could beat a silverback gorilla with one pinky, let me tell you. She is scary.
This week, the owners of the Portland Thorns and the WNBA's incoming expansion franchise in Portland announced plans on a dual training facility solely for the girls. So it's going to be a dual training facility for the women's basketball team there and for the soccer team. That's amazing.
Incredible. The 12-acre, $150 million facility is already beginning to take shape, according to a report on Just Women's Sports. The Performance Center will support both Portland squads, becoming the first ever training complex to house a professional women's soccer club and a pro women's basketball team under singular ownership. Build it and they will come.
La, 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 la.
Yeah.
What do you, as a female athlete, what would you like to see in a training facility just for the girls? What would be like your wish list?
Well, here's the thing. I think the most freeing part is like you could walk around half naked and not have to worry about it. Because half the time, okay, I will say this really quickly. Sean, don't yell at me. It's a quick sidebar. When I had my injury in college, the cyst in my back, a lot of the work that I was getting done was obviously on my back, but then also like the top half of my butt. So I, a lot of the times, legitimately was like ass out in the training room. And I don't love that. Okay.
Right.
No one does. I mean, maybe some people do, not for me. And like the training room was obviously co-ed. So like we would have like a curtain, but you know, there was definitely, people saw the cheeks.
We got a flash of the cheek.
Yeah, for sure. And that's fine. But like, oh my God, to be in a training room where you like don't have to give a damn and you can be just like you're always half naked in a training room because you're getting worked on. That would just be such a treat. And like,
listen,
that would be what I would look for.
Owners, take notes.
Also, maybe they could have like a manicurist and a pedicurist on site. Because like I would
love that. Save a lot of money.
Exactly. There you
go.
go.
Take notes. All right, so now we're transitioning. Our guest is about to be here in the studio.
Can you tell everyone who it is?
Yes. So we are so excited to be joined in the studio with Phoebe Robinson. She's a comedian and former host of the HBO show and podcast Two Dope Queens. Phoebe is also a marathoner, and that's the tie-in here. She's run New York, Boston, and Tokyo, all within 11 months, you say?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, and this weekend, she's actually teaming up with New York Roadrunners to tackle their Mindful 5K on Saturday, May 3rd, and it kicks off Mental Health Awareness Month. We're so excited to have her here.
Yeah.
Please welcome in Phoebe.
Phoebe, welcome to Well Played.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us bright and early.
Of course.
I know you just did mention that it was an early morning for you.
Yeah, I just don't talk to anyone this early. So,
girl, honestly, same. This is like the one day a week I decide to do this.
I make Blake get up early for this and talk to me of all people, and I am like loud in your face, and she's like a special place in heaven for her because it's tough. How are you doing? How's everything going? We're gonna get into your 5K that you are doing with New York Roadrunners. I know, sorry. That was like really that was a tough one off the top.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, sorry. How's everything going?
You know, well,
yeah.
I ran the Brooklyn Half experience, which was, you know, it was good, but it was, I just want to say to the organizers,
speak your truth.
Yep, say it.
That because it ends in Prospect Park, right? And I live near Prospect Park, so I'm like, oh, I could just like cut out and blah blah blah. The way they make you exit, you loop around. So I had to walk an additional 2 miles.
No.
Yes, girl.
Do they make you like cut into the middle or something? Like
no, it's like so you do like the loop and they go, okay, you have to go all the way. Like you have to do a full loop basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And so then I almost peed myself.
Of course.
Yeah. So that wasn't great because I stopped at King David Tacos. They have like a little. This is a lot of detail, but their tacos are great. They had like a little truck outside, so I got that. I was like, cool, whatever. I was walking my pace, and then, like 10 minutes from my apartment, I was like, I think I'm gonna pee myself.
Yeah.
And so I stopped in this apartment building. I was like, yeah, where there was like a tour guide. I was like, do you have a bathroom that I can use? And he was like, no. And I was like, all right.
You shot your shot.
I did.
You tried,
and it's like, I'm walking along Eastern Parkway, so there's like nowhere you can hide to like try and.
No.
And I've never peed in public, so I was like, that's just not citizenship, so I like never do it.
That's fair.
And then I was just like, okay, you just have to like hold it. So I like got to my building, and then I went down to like the public restroom by the gym, and I just was like,
I have an intrusive thought. Do you ever
go off?
Do you guys ever time yourself when you know you're gonna pee for a really long time? Because I've done that before. Because I'm just like curious. I'm like Sean's shaking his head. Thank God
you have an ally in the room.
Thank God. I've like sometimes when your bladder is just so full, I'm like, I wonder how long it's going to take me. Because sometimes it feels like I'm peeing for like 15 minutes.
Oh.
I've peed for 3 minutes straight before. Isn't that insane?
I just like don't believe you.
I've never done that.
Well, next time you ever really, really have to pee, you're going to think of me. And you're going to be like, I wonder how long I'm peeing for.
But I do check every poop.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
People who don't, I'm like, how do you shit and you don't even look?
Yeah, that's
to see
crazy.
what's up.
That's crazy.
You have to see what's up.
Yeah, you gotta know yourself.
And sometimes you're surprised.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
you're
okay.
like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. The varying degrees of O's.
It's called investigative journalism.
There you
I
go.
don't know. Maybe some people should be
like if you're doing like little pebbles, like you know what I mean. Like you got to get some more fiber up in there.
You got to see what's going on.
Yes,
for your own sake.
Especially nutrition as a marathoner or runner. Okay, it's important. But let's bring it back.
Yep. Okay.
Bring it back.
Let's clean it up.
Thank
to
you.
when you started running, because you started running, I think at 38.
Yeah. Okay. So we did the research.
I did.
She is.
It was like February of 2023.
Nice. Okay.
And I was just sort of like, I'd always wanted to try and run, and I didn't know what I was doing. So like I would just like go out and run, and then like my legs were hurting. I'd be like, oh, this sucks. And then I was coming out of a breakup, and I initiated, just so people know.
Yeah. Set the record straight. Set the record straight.
She
That's
did that.
important.
She did that.
I was not left. I did the leaving. Okay.
Yep.
And I was just like, I always wanted to be like those people I see just trot along in Prospect Park. So I started doing like walk run classes and I would do them on like Nike Run Club, where it'd be like you have to run for like 90 seconds straight, and I'd be like, oh shit, this is hard. And
this
then
is
now
terrible.
I'm doing marathons.
Yeah,
so.
casual.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I feel like the best way to start though, because it's the least intimidating way, where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna run for this amount, and then I can walk, and then I can walk, and so it's like it really helps kind of ease the burden. But now you're doing marathons. You so casually did 3 marathons in 11 months.
Yeah.
2 questions actually. 1, do your knees hurt? And 2, why?
No, people, when I started telling people I was running, they were like, oh, your knees, you better watch out for your knees. You're not going to have no knees. And like, I'm like, guys, just do like stretching and recovery. And like, you don't push it. And if I feel like anything's wonky, then like, I won't run. So my
and strength
knees
train.
Yeah. Yes. I do that twice a week. You just have to, because otherwise your body just can't take it. So I ran. My first marathon was a Boston Marathon.
That is
well, I ran it for charity. I'm on the board of this nonprofit called Red that's co-founded by Bono. And it was like, I remember I was in Vegas for my birthday, September 2023. And they were like, oh, would you like want to run, a marathon for us? And, I'm like, it just seemed like Magic Mike. I'm like, yeah, I could do anything,
Why not? Yep.
Vegas has that power over people.
Yeah, it does. So I did that, and I ran that with a chest cold, which was it was wild.
Ma'am.
I know.
Boston,
It wasn't
Boston in April.
And it was hotter than we thought it was going to be. So it was like in the 70s. You can't really, you couldn't really hide.
Oh my God. And you finished?
Yeah, I finished.
Hell yeah.
Okay, wait, I really have to know.
I would not have.
Because Boston is the one where I say that is the only thing that would make me do another marathon. Because I've done 2.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Brooklyn Marathon, and they discontinued it because the course was so hard and terrible.
Yeah.
And then I did New York. Amazing, incredible energy. And Boston's the only other one that I'm like, ooh, I would kind of love to do that. How awful was Heartbreak Hill?
Here's what I will say. Heartbreak Hill is difficult. People really overhyped it. I'm coming for you, Boston.
Love it, love it.
Okay. I'm coming for you, Goodwill Hunting. It's just like, the problem is it's like you have like 3 hills and you have Heartbreak Hill. So that like the 4th one is like, it's a lot. But like I would see people like running like a maniac up the hill. I'm like sprinting. Babe, you're not sprinting up this shit. No. Okay. Dial it back.
Down.
Yep. So you can get through all
pace yourself.
Yeah. So like I definitely like felt it in my chest because at that point that's when my body was like, oh, you really do have a chest cold. But it's not like there are just certain parts where you have to be smart. Like with New York, like the first 2 miles, you don't go all out because you're going up the whole time.
Yep.
So it's just sort of like, I know everyone has like a pace or they like want to feel like they're whatever, but I always try to run marathons with like, I just want to feel good at the end.
Totally.
So I will sort of like, like dial it back a little bit and then like, keep going.
But that makes me feel better about it because people literally are like making it, at least to me, making it seem like the equivalent to like childbirth. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do that.
New York's harder.
Okay. Okay. I like that take.
Because it has the most rolling hills. So you like kind of like don't stop. Like even at the end where you're going to Central Park, you're going up. And I was literally like cussing people out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I was like, when is this? And I also have like, I suffered an injury during the race there in New York.
Oh gosh.
So I just was like,
not having a good time.
Yeah, because I had shin splints before the race. So I was like trying to recover as much as I could. And I was like maybe 90% there. And I was like, I was moving. Like the first 16 like miles, I was like, I'm going to make my pace.
Great.
I'm going to make my pace. Because my goal, my goal time was like 5 hours and 20 minutes. I was like, I'm going to fucking crush that. And then my leg was like, no, you're not, honey. And at mile 17, I sort of realized, you're not going to hit your time. And I started to cry a little bit. So
you're like, you thought?
Yeah, exactly. So I texted my parents and I was like, this is hell. My mom was like, all you got to do is finish. Just finish.
Oh,
and
that's sweet.
Like, but then for Tokyo, you were, I guess, fully healthy?
I was fully healthy. That's the first time I ever run a marathon, like fully healthy.
Was it your best yet?
It was my best yet. I ran 5:36:14.
Hell yeah. There you go.
Incredible.
So it's like, to me, I'm like, I know that's not like 3 hours and whatever, but I'm like, I started running 2 years ago.
Who cares?
It's like so fun.
And like you said, the point is to just finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this race you're doing this weekend because I feel like with marathoners, like when you hear like someone's doing a 5K, it's like, that's child's play. What's the point? So I'm curious, what is motivating you to run this weekend, the Mindful 5K?
Always nice to just... like marathon training is just so taxing physically and mentally. It's like all you talk about. It's like
even when you try not to. I swear to God, we try not to.
Yeah, I'll be like, I can't go out tonight. It's a long run on Saturday. I gotta do like 15. Like it just is so all consuming.
Yep.
And a 5K, I always feel like it's sort of like celebratory.
Yeah, totally.
It's sort of like, I get to do this. It's a little bit of exercise, and I can like go grab King David's tacos.
Hey,
they don't pay me, but they're really good. And then you could go about the rest of your day.
Yeah.
So it feels like really fun and easy. And I think right now, because the world is such a disaster and running has just been so helpful mentally, then I'm like, it's really fun to do like a 5K that's centered around mental health, which I think is great.
Yeah. I feel like whenever I am super anxious and feel like the world is collapsing on top of me, my fiance is like, just go for a run. And I'm like, no, I don't have time to work out. He's like, go for a run. It's 30 minutes. You'll be fine. I come back and I'm like, brand new bitch. I'm ready to conquer the world. Like, it's crazy what that does for you.
Yeah.
It just really
nice.
Like reshapes everything, I feel like.
You guys are what, like early 30s? You're late 20s?
Late 20s,
Late 20s, early 30s?
Yeah.
So you could get up and go and just when your fiance is like, oh, just go for a run. Like, oh no, I do mobility stretches. I do full body. It's a whole. I got the cool down.
Yeah, I just like walk out the door. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna injure myself. It's inevitable.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
When you get older, it's like the stretching, the recovery just matters so much more.
It's so true because I rode in college and
cool.
I did not believe in stretching. I straight up was like, that's stupid. And of course,
gift of youth.
I got injured. Like I'm not Superwoman. I thought I was. I'm not. And I'm like, okay, I understand that I should do it. Still don't. But like, at least I know that I should.
Yeah,
you know,
you'll just have to do it.
The first step is admitting that you have a problem, and I don't stretch. You're there. Exactly. Okay, should we do some quick question lightning round?
Yes.
Okay. And
It doesn't have to be that fast. You can take your time, but it's just like quick, fun questions.
Yeah,
Great.
and then we'll get into Send It. Go ahead. You start off.
Okay. What do you think is the best or worst part about running in a city?
Well, I live near the park, so.
Oh my God.
So the
privilege is oozing.
I know.
Listen, I was just telling Phoebe, I gotta run 2.5 miles to that park to then start my run at said park, which is 3 miles in the loop. Then I gotta run my ass back home.
Yeah, that's a lot. So I don't have a worst part. The best part is running in Prospect Park.
There you go.
Yeah.
You see some funny shit there.
Yeah, it's great.
Entertaining. Run clubs, yay or nay?
I literally don't want anyone to talk to me. I don't want to talk to you when
that.
I'm done. I don't want to like hang out and grab I want to go home. I want to take a shit, and then I want to
respect.
I want to put on the pit and watch Noah Wiley and cry. Like I don't have it's too much, and especially like. I don't know what it is about me, but I always start sweating crotch first.
Same.
Okay, yep.
So it's like
it looks like I take a piss.
Yeah, so it's like, are we gonna really like talk?
Not.
Like
No.
I'm not.
Let's not do that.
I've had to like actually stop buying light colored leggings and shorts because it's a fucking problem.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I will say like the only reason I don't do run clubs, but the only reason that I'm like somewhat okay with them is because it's like, oh, I won't do it unless someone is like, get your ass outside and like let's go. So I need that sometimes, or I need like the fear of like doing a marathon without training to like make me run kind of thing. So I need like some sort of training regimen.
So you're in a run club.
I'm not.
Oh, but you're
like,
open to
I'm
it.
Open to it.
Got it.
Okay.
Definitely won't join.
Follow up to this.
Yes.
Dating in your run club, yay or nay?
Oh no, that seems like such a bad idea.
Messy.
Like I don't do it. I just remember Miranda on Sex and the City.
Yes. Oh my god.
With the guy, and the guy wanted her to eat his butt, and then she like freaked out, and I was like, "Girl, just say no," and then like keep fucking, like it's totally fine. But she was like, "I can't do it," and then it made her run faster, and I was like, "Good for you," but also it's too messy.
Yeah, don't do the run club.
She also never did see Miranda run that marathon.
I know. I was kind of robbed of that.
I feel like it's because of that man.
Yeah, totally. Okay, what's the most, you ran the Brooklyn Half Marathon, obviously, this past weekend. What's the most Brooklyn thing you saw during the marathon?
It was pretty chill.
Love that.
It was great. I mean, then I got cooked on the big hill like halfway through, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Bitch.
Right?
Yeah, you were like, "And I'm humbled."
Yeah, I was like, "Yikes!" No, it was just really. I've never run through Brooklyn that way. You know what I mean? So it was just I just took in the sights. It was really nice.
Yeah. I agree. When I ran the marathon through Brooklyn, I was like, oh, this is such a cool way to see a city.
Yeah. Okay, dream running partner.
Oh.
I know that Harry Styles did run Tokyo somewhere alongside you.
Could have run it together.
Guys, he was 2 hours. People are like, oh, did you see him? I was like, he finished 2 hours before I did. Okay.
He's sneaky speedy.
Yeah, he's really fast. Oh gosh, my dream run partner.
Who will not speak a single word to you, mind you. You just are there for
vibes
and
great. I like from the Olympics. Sydney McLaughlin-Leroney, because she's so pretty.
Oh my god,
she's so pretty. She's so. It's like, and I know she's not doping. She's just so much better than everyone else.
She just is like built different.
It's wild.
And
she's
also,
really cool.
beautiful and like so poised, and is just like finishes the hardest race. 400 hurdles is no joke. I did that in high school and then did not do it ever again. And like does the hardest race and then it's just across the finish line like that was hard, but just broke my own world record
on like couldn't be me.
Insane. Okay, last one. Song you play to get you past the finish line, and why is it not the Big Booty Mix?
It's Caroline Concession.
It all depends on the race. I make a playlist for each race that I do.
Love that.
One of them I think I went across Whitney Houston's "I'm Every Woman" because it's just like
banger.
It's just so good, and she was like my favorite pop star when I was a kid, so I like that. But then when I had to finish the Tokyo Marathon, that I finished that to some Pearl Jam because I was like I needed to, because I was texting with a running buddy and she was in the States and she was like, "You're doing so great," and I was like, I think I'm gonna PR, and I got like so excited, so I was like, all right, it's fucking Pearl Jam till the end.
Okay. Alrighty, shall we send it?
We're gonna send it.
Okay.
So we're going to have you just react to a couple of our favorite moments of the week. This is our segment called Send It, where we just talk about 4 of our favorite viral, sporty-ish moments from the week
that you have to be sending to your group chat.
Yes,
obviously.
Caroline.
I will start it. Did you see Brenda Song's viral clip from the Lakers game this weekend and her behavior at said Lakers game?
It was so cute. I really loved it. I loved how Macaulay like truly didn't know what was going on, but he was like, "I got you, babe. Whatever 100%. You say, I agree with." And I hate because I go to some sporting events. I don't go to a lot because they just get pricey.
Yeah, they do.
But I always get annoyed by the people who are like there and they're like over it.
Totally.
I'm like, then stay the fuck home.
Yeah.
Someone out, like I always like true fans who are like, they're going to get hyped up, they're going to stand, they're going to cheer. Like, that's great. I thought that was so adorable.
Yeah, love it. That's like me.
She knew what was literally going on. She would call the players by names. Like, they need to hire her for a pep talk.
1,000%. She was like, I know this shit. I'm a true fan. And yeah, this is like, it honestly kind of gave me a little bit of just like insight to what I must look like at games, and I was like, oh,
accurate.
This makes so much sense. Yeah. Okay. So the more you know.
So my send it for the week, one of them is, so the Penn Relays took place this week, which is like high school and college athletes. They descend upon UPenn and they run a bunch of track meets, but they also have races for people of like who are not competitive athletes. So they had a race featuring 80-year-old plus men. And this race just took the cake for me because it featured this 82-year-old man. His name is Dom Stellato. He was gunning it in that 100-meter dash.
I think he would have beaten me.
Finished in like 16 seconds.
No, he was so fast.
Yeah.
And it was pouring rain, mind you.
It was pouring rain. The imagery.
I was stressed. I was like, someone's going to blow an Achilles, like,
or a trip.
They have to do, if you think you got to do some mobility exercises before, what do you think they got to do?
I was just like, wow, I couldn't run that.
Also, at 82... I've done my time exercising.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We're hanging out the cleats.
Good. Like, I'm still going to be competitive as fuck.
Yes, but they're men.
But you're right.
They're men. That never leaves them.
Point taken. Okay. All right, next one. The Tarp Monster claimed a new victim at the Washington Nationals game this weekend. As the rain rolled in, grounds crew members rushed to roll out a tarp to cover the infield.
It's so rude because they keep going. I'm like, you assholes, you see me under here. Stop it. Pull me out.
One crew member literally tumbled and then got under the tarp and legitimately almost died.
His coworkers were like, fuck you, dude. See you later.
They were like, bye. We're going to keep rolling. Insane. That's
Is the Tarp Monster a thing?
Yeah, it happens at baseball games. Tarp Monster is not to be messed with.
It's so funny.
I didn't know it was a real creature.
Yeah, she's scary.
Okay, finally for Senate this week, I want to share this video from the Washington Capitals and Montreal Canadiens match out of the NHL playoffs last Friday. So 2 players got into a fist fight, and then it ended up involving the bench. Like, it was so fucking wild.
Like, it really broke out.
And then these 2 bystanders, I don't know where they are in the video.
They technically are also players, but...
They're players, but they're bystanding the fight. They just start holding hands because they're, like, so scared. They're like, I don't know what to do. But they're also former Team USA, like, players. They used to be teammates.
Yes.
And so they're just, like, bessying out on the
but
side.
They're
like,
literally linking arms.
Yes.
I would do the same.
I'd be like,
I don't want to get...
Yeah, I'm not going to be in the fight. I'm going to be on the outside. I'm either going to be like, fight.
Yeah.
Or I would just be like, these guys are so
I would be like them.
dumb.
I'd be like, Mom, can you pick me up?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Totally.
It's also like these hockey players, they get in the fights and then some of them look busted afterwards. They get, It's just like, I'm not going to fuck up my face. For what?
Are you kidding?
I know.
For what?
The face card
Because
cannot
you're
decline.
mad. That's what I don't admittedly, I don't watch hockey. It's just not for me.
That's
it's no
fine,
diss,
yeah.
but I'm just always like, this is ignorant to be like, okay, you guys can fight
Yeah.
for
And have it be
like
part of the sport.
for like 45 seconds and then we're gonna break it up. I'm like, what are we doing? Someone explain it to me because I don't understand.
I don't understand like the when do you call it? You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when are you like, okay, let's cut that. You
That's
know?
enough.
At what point? What is
Yeah.
the
It's like when you fight with your
flag?
sibling and there's like no clear end in sight. So it's like you're like, all right, I guess that was
You're
enough.
like, all right, I guess we'll whatever. What was your favorite of the bunch?
Gosh, I just think it's something so heartwarming about those like 80-year-old guys
Yeah.
just like running in the rain
Yeah.
because I would not be doing that. If it was
Couldn't.
raining, I'd be like, I'm just gonna
I'd
forfeit.
tap out.
Yeah.
My hair. I can't get my hair wet. Are we for real? Like, I just did it. No.
Yeah. So that was like really cute.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. What about
Yeah.
you?
I'm gonna go Brenda Song.
Okay.
Millennial icon of my heart, my childhood, and she's getting the recognition she deserves as a potential future coach of the Lakers. So
Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go NHL players because the boys were not fighting.
I know.
You know, they
that
just
was
were
positive
like,
masculinity right
loved
there too.
Loved it
that.
so much. They knew when to say, we're gonna not
We're gonna
involve
take a step
all of
back.
ourselves. Love the self-restraint. Okay, well, what is your goal for the 5K? Like not time-wise. I just mean like vibes. Like what do you want? Do you want to accomplish anything?
It's early and I'm schlepping from Brooklyn, so I'm just gonna.
Where's it at?
just here for a good time.
It's like near Fleshy Meadows.
Oh.
Take a car.
U.S. Open.
Yeah.
That's how I know.
That's
Flushing Meadows.
a trick.
I know.
You're a trooper.
Yeah, but it's like, listen, mental health is important,
yes.
guys.
Yeah.
That will probably
Yeah.
like increase your mental health
Yeah.
by overcoming a hardship of commuting there.
Yeah, so let's just do that, have a fun time, and I'm seeing good night and good luck. Good night and good luck. Right? Good luck and good night. Good night, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I'm excited.
And then you're
about
gonna
that.
get your tacos too.
I'm gonna get my King David's. I'll
Atta
see you.
girl.
I'll see
Sponsor
you.
her.
boo.
David, where you at?
Wait, are you
love
guys
that.
gonna do it?
No. It's not that I wouldn't. I just didn't. It wasn't on my radar.
The way you said that was such a like fake ass. Like I'm
Hell
sorry
no.
I can't, but
Hell
No.
And it was like,
no shot.
what did Michelle Obama say recently? She's like, no is a full answer.
No,
Like,
was a full
that was-
sentence. That was a
That's
full
great.
sentence.
No.
No,
Yeah, love
good
that.
for you.
Yeah.
Sleep in. It's too early.
Mhm. I'm not here this weekend. Otherwise, totally
Right.
would.
Lies.
I have a strict no two rivers rule where I don't cross two rivers at once.
Girl. She lives in Hoboken.
Sorry.
Oh.
I know.
The Brooklyn in the room.
I know. Sorry.
Jersey's so far.
I know.
Do you have like a house?
No.
Not
Oh.
even.
I was like, is that what you do? You have a backyard?
Yeah, no, don't even have that. I have a car, so that's my excuse. The parking garages in New York is too much for me.
You could live in Brooklyn now, have a car.
Yeah.
This has turned into a pitch.
Yeah.
As to why you should move to New
Move
York.
to Brooklyn.
Yes,
Here's why.
please.
Okay, I'll consider.
I have a real estate agent, like legit. One of
a-
my friends is a real estate agent,
Okay.
so I could connect
Keep
you
it
with
real.
her.
All right, let's
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Twist my arm. Okay, that's it for
That's
this
it for
podcast,
yeah,
right?
this week's episode of Well Played. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thank you, Phoebe, for joining us. Where can people keep up with you?
Yes.
Oh gosh,
your running
you
journey.
can follow me on Instagram, Dope Queen Phoebes, DOPEQUEENPHEEBS. Wow,
Damn, you can spell?
I know.
Loved that.
I'm proud of myself
girl.
for being able to spell.
That was
So
impressive.
early in the morning.
Honestly. Alrighty, until next time, thanks for listening to Well Played.
The only podcast in League of Its Own.